guys, welcome back to another Ark Survival Evolved video. In today's video, we are back on Who's Alpha PvP 24/7 on the cluster. And I wanted to show you 5 things that Ark players don't want Beach Bobs to know. So basically, if you're practically new to Ark, these are 5 things that can really alter your gameplay experience, whether if it's PvP rating or even some other unique ways of like gathering things for boss and stuff like that. So without further ado, let's get on to the list. At number 5, we're going to come in with otters. And I know that's probably going to be a surprise to a lot of people, and they're like, what, otters? But check this out, I want to show you something. So with otters, they're one of the few tames, or if not the only tame on Ark. I don't know if it's the only tame, but I know if there are others, there's not many that you can actually get to store different artifacts. Check it out. I've got 2 different artifacts, or 2 of the same artifacts in there multiple times, as you see with these 2. An otter being able to store that many different artifacts is really cool because you can't do it with yourself. You can't do it in vaults. You could put them in different vaults, but for that thing to be able to actually stack up and get the same, I think that's very, very underrated, that people don't use otters more just for that one in particular perk. Let's get on to number 4. So number 4, we're not going to move too far away. With number 4, it's going to be when you're passive healing on Daedons. This is a trick that I know that most people know about, but some people don't, so I wanted to throw it in there. But for Daedons, for instance, let's see this one right here. You're wanting to passive heal, but you need him to eat, and he hasn't eaten. You don't want to sit here and force tame all that food, or force feed all that food to him. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want everybody in your tribe, which we're both on the teleporter. Everybody wants to get on the teleporter, teleport. Okay, so you want to teleport away from, or fly away from where your Daedon was. Now we're going to teleport back over, and he should have already eaten. You could do this in a matter of, 30 seconds tops. She's going to take a second to get back in. If everything went according to plan, boom, you see he ate all the food. Wrong button, sorry about that. All the food in his inventory has been eaten, and you can literally just fill it back up and do it all over again, and he'll fully eat. As you can see with this guy, he is full of health, full of food. He's happy as can be. And I think this guy's fully healed now. Just about fully healed, got a little bit left. But without further ado, let's get on to number 3. So for number 3, guys, we're going to have to actually go to our admin shop over here. Let me get to the inside of it real quick. And number 3 is going to involve the industrial grinder. So with the industrial grinder, we'll go ahead and turn that thing on. Look inside of it. So check this out, guys. See these behemoth gates and behemoth gate doors? Yeah, there's some regular ones right there. Watch this. If you grind one of these, it's going to give you 100 metal ingots, 100 cementing paste, and 35 organic poly on my server. Now, different servers, this will alter, but on my server, one of those is going to give you 100 ingots, 100 cementing paste, and 35 organic polymer. And if we just, hit all 5, there's 500 ingots, 500 polymer, 175 organic. 500 ingots, 500 cementing paste, and 175 organic polymer. And we're just going to sit here and smash a couple of these. So you see how we are really gaining up the cementing paste and the ingots off of this. Here's 3 metal cliff platforms. You can smash those, which is going to give you a lot more. These metal spike walls, they can be used to be smashed. If you don't want to irrigate anything and you pick up this stuff, all this stuff can be smashed. Tech stuff. And then watch this, guys. You can smash these saddles and stuff and get all kinds of different resources off of smashing these. So definitely on every, especially unofficial server that you get on and you get good stuff out of drops like this, smash that stuff up. Now some of this stuff I'm going to show you is a little bit better if you don't smash it, like the behemoth gates and all the other stuff. So I want to show you that route too. That kind of intertwines with the grinder. So you see as I smash all this stuff up, you see the resources that you get for it. And like I said, this stuff is really great to do, really great to use. But the major part that you're going to benefit off of this grinder is these saddles and the stuff that you can't place down and actually smash yourself. So that kind of goes into part two of number three on the list with the industrial grinder is also going to be just being able to smash things in general without even having to use the grinder. So let's go out here and place a few things real quick. And we're just going to place, let's see, let me get rid of this guy real quick. I heard him coming after me. Okay. Got rid of that guy real quick. Let's place a few things down real fast. So let's let's hotbar that. Hotbar that. Hotbar that. Hotbar that. Hotbar that. Hotbar that. And that. So there's the main ones, I believe. Yeah, and then of course walls and all that stuff you can do as well. We'll even throw some of these in there. So what I want to show you guys now is let's get that out. And now watch the resources on the left hand side where you seen it said that behemoth gate was placed. I just want you to see the difference in this real quick. So if you walk up to it and you hit demolish, look at that, 1050 metal ingots, 245 cementing paste, and I believe that was 70 polymer if I'm not mistaken, organic polymer. Let's do it one more time just to make sure. Yeah, 70 polymer, not organic polymer, but actually hard poly if you smash that. Same thing with this other stuff. If you were to, put down the behemoth, put down the door, obviously, walk up to the door, hit demolish, boom, there's 750 metal ingots, 175 cementing paste. Come over here, do the same thing to the gate frame itself. And it works the same way with tech as well. If you want to put tech down, if I can make this snap real quick, there it is. Put tech down, come over here, hold E. Don't go crazy with the mouse like I just did. There's crystal and poly. Metal ingots, poly, and crystal. Same thing for your resources. This one obviously has to go on a ground. We'll put it up here on the ceiling. Why not? We're just going to... This is one of the major ones you want to do, guys. You get these out of drops, watch this. Boom. 1250 metal ingots, 125 crystal, 300 cementing paste. We'll do it again. 300 cementing paste is where we left off. 200 oil and 200 polymer. Same thing for like the grinder, if you want to place that down. Industrial grill, if you want to place that down, smash that thing. Check this out. And again with the grinder you're going to get a lot of resources. Check this out, guys. Boom, 1600 metal ingots, 1000 crystal, 400 cementing paste, 300 oil, and 300 poly. So you can't go wrong there, smashing those resources down. I had some stuff in my inventory before. I'll go ahead and show you now though. We'll just because some of that stuff came from drops. But you see all this down here, 9200 metal ingots off of doing all of that. And I had more I could continue to do if I needed to. But same thing, like I said, with your other structures that you could get out of drops. Helpful tip there at number 3, how to utilize not only your industrial grinding, but just smashing things in general to get you that advance in getting your resources up. A lot of people are doing that stuff already, so if you're not one of them doing it, make sure you are starting to do that kind of thing to grind up and get resources, so that way you're not a step behind. Let's move on to the number 2 thing. So with number 2, it's actually going to be stews and soups. You do not know how important stews and soups are. So we're going to hover over a couple of these stews and soups and brews and stuff like that and kind of show you what each one of them do. Starting out with our energy brew. With this brew, it just refills your stamina. It's basically like the medical brew, just does your health. There's nothing else that they really do other than that. But these two will also intertwine with number 1. on the list. But basically, the way it works is with stamina. Obviously, if you're running and running and running, you need to like restam, and you don't want to lay down and stay flat on the ground for a few seconds to get your stam back up. You could just drink one of or a few of these bad boys, and they'll restam you. Same thing with the medical brew. If you're out PvPing, if you're raiding, anything like that, your health gets down low. Either if you get hit by a person, dino, turrets, whatever be the cause, you can drink a few of these and get your health to slowly generate back up over time. Next one on the list is going to be Shadow Steak. We're just going to, like I said, do like a general description of it, and then I'll tell you like more in depth what it does. It says this dish grants you a hunter's instinct. Consume it to ignore most weather and steady your aim. So with the shadow steak, it's going to make things very, very like I want to say shiny in a way. And we'll eat one just to kind of show you real quick. Let's see, I might have to land. I will have to wait till these effects wear off to like show you any of the other ones. But there we go, we ate one, and as you can see, like everything's got that glisten to it if you look around, and that's what I meant by that like shiny to it. But it lets you not only ignore most weather, it also gives you additional benefits with the shadow stake to where you're going to, as I pass it all up, to where you're going to get rock steady aim. Like when you look at somebody, there's no bobbing around, moving around. It's dead on, and you do get about 2 minutes of this, a little over 2 minutes, I should say, of this effect. At least on my server. So next up is going to be your Mind Wipe Tonic. Now your Mind Wipe Tonic is basically just something to help you re-pump your points and redo your Ingrams. Now on my server, I have unlimited respecs on, so you can continuously drink the Mind Wipe Tonics and reset your specs. We do that for our events that we host, because we host different events, and we want players to be able to bring the best character they can to specific events. But with your Mind Wipe Tonic, be aware on other servers, especially on like official, it's only one tonic per level. But on my server, you can do it over and over again. Next up is going to be Enduro Stew. Now with the Enduro Stew, this one kind of has a hidden perk to it that not everybody knows about. So it says this hearty dish is like a workout in the form of a meal. Consume it to deal increased melee damage and gain extra stamina regen. Effects last 15 minutes. So let me just move up just a hair. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Had somebody punching right below me. So with this one, you're going to get the increased melee damage and gain that extra stamina regen. But I've noticed on my server, I don't know about other servers, but on our unofficial server, I've noticed a slight increase of health regeneration that you get when you eat an Enduro Stew. But you're definitely going to get that stamina regen and the melee damage. I think the downfall to the Enduro Stew... I'm in the air again, so it's not going to let me consume it. I think it makes like one of your other stats drain. I'm not sure. Comment down in the comment section. Let everybody know if it does make something drain. Next up is going to be Focal Chili. With Focal Chili, it's a filling dish. It's full of nutritional energy. Consume it to gain increased crafting speed and gain increased movement speed. It lasts 15 minutes as well. With the Focal Chili, on my server, it's not going to be too heavily used because your crafting skill is up there, but you can use it for that movement speed. It comes in handy to make it a lot faster, so you can't be caught by somebody or bullet. Next up is going to be the Lazarus Chowder. With the Lazarus Chowder, you consume it to slow your rate of oxygen down. This is really good for going down deep into the sea and getting like black pearls or trying to get those deep sea tames. You gain an extra health generation as well whenever you eat the Lazarus Chowder. And all these brews and stews on my server are available in drops. They're actually available, if I'm not mistaken, in, I want to say, blue drop with a ring, which is our human consumables drop. Next up is Kalian Soup. The Kalian Soup increases your hypothermic insulation and slows your water consumption down. So it's basically going to help you out with your torpidity if you're really cold in one area, and consume some of this soup, and it will help you not have as much of effect in that area on being freezing cold or burning hot, and also to slow your rate of water consumption down. On my server, water and food does not decrease, but if you're on like official or on a server that is the case, this is the soup you're going to want to consume to prevent that from slowing or prevent that from draining over a quicker period of time. Next up's going to be Fria curry. The Fria curry is a spicy vegetarian dish. Fills the body with a comfortable warmth. Consume it to gain increased hypothermic insulation and slow your rate of food consumption. So with the Fria curry, it's going to like increase your hypothermic insulation and slow down food. Where the Kalian soup is increased hypothermic insulation and slows water. So basically, slows water, slows food. Put them both together, and you're basically good to go on those official servers and the servers that drain your food and water. Broth of Enlightenment. Now this one will make you like go blind, basically. Um, it says it will broaden your horizons and grant greatly increased experience gain for a brief. But let me tell you, when it says broaden your horizons, I've literally been almost blinded by this um, shadow stake, and I think it's the Battle Tartare. It may not be Battle Tartare. Let me check. No, not Battle Tartare. Yeah, this the Broth of Enlightenment and the Shadow Stake. That's the two together that was just blinding on my screen. But it will give you an increased experience gain if you need to. Like we have a really boosted experience rate on my server, but if you don't have that on your server that you're currently playing on, you can definitely drink one of these bad boys, eat one of these bad boys, whatever have you, and like go over on the island or a map that has those note runs and to get experience gains, and you can really level up very fast with those. So the next one I want to talk about is Lesser Antidote and Bug Repellent. That's the two I really want to talk about. Basically, just for certain types of tames and certain types of you know problems you can occur by different tames. So the lesser antidote, it's going to cure your like non-permanent diseases. So if you're going out to get like arthropluras and spiders, and let's say if you get for some whatever reason you get some kind of like poisoned or if you get some kind of like non-permanent disease on Ark, you can use the lesser antidote, and maybe even for the permanent. I'm not sure. I've never actually gotten a permanent disease on Ark, but I know that lesser antidotes will cure you of those not of those like infections and stuff. Bug repellent. If you're wanting to go up and tame like a spider, like a Arania or a Arthroplura, these are the little cups of mojo that you're going to want to put on you, this bug repellent, because you'll be able to walk up to them and get that passive tame in, and they won't be able to like aggro on you just for walking up. So that leaves the last one on the stews and soups list with the battle tartar. So with the battle tartar, it's basically your berserker food. Like if you want to get a massive increase of melee damage, movement speed, damage resistance, and stamina regeneration, um, this is the trait for you. It does cause you to consume food and water more quickly and even lose health, but it only lasts 3 minutes, and this thing will make up for what you lose. I know I said this is the last one. We actually got one more after this. Alright, guys, sorry about that. Now we have it in there. It is the beer jar. So, beer is very, very important just because you can consume it and take less damage from melee. You can take less damage from turrets. Um, but beer does have that effect to where it also decreases like your water consumption. Your water will slowly drain over time and uh, give you kind of a blurred look on your screen like you're drunk. There is a countdown timer on this that you have to wait before you can consume your next one, but beer is something that overly it's overly used, I guess is what I'm trying to say, and by the really good people that play this game. So if you're not going to make it as far as someone else, if you're not using beer like with your raids and your PvP, because it gives a crazy boost to your damage resistance, and that could be the overall like quality factor that determines your outcome in PvP. So beer is definitely something that you're going to want to start using in Ark, whether if you're on official or unofficial. It's definitely useful in both or in both scenarios. So that's going to wrap it up with number two. Now it's going to be off to number one on the list. Alright, guys, so number one on the list is going to be just your PvP actual gear. So, what I want to show you is different gear basically, or the same gear basically, but just what to look for in general. So, you're going to want to keep these things with you. You're going to want to obviously keep, let's get to them real quick because I don't have any on me right now. There they are. So you're going to want bolas. You're always going to want for PvP and bolas. That way, if you got to get somebody trapped and you want to get them, caught up, boom, hit them with a bola, then you can kind of work with them a lot easier. So bolas is definitely one of them. The next thing on my list is a good flak suit for sure. Now, you see my helmet's a little weak. All this stuff's actually a little bit weak, but you can basically get a lot higher armor ratings on these. Not only armor ratings, another thing, check out that durability. See on this one, it's durability is 1120 out of 1120. You're going to want that durability as high as it can possibly be, along with that armor rating, to get the best flak suit. Some people just look at armor rating, and they do not look at they only look at this number right here. They don't look at the actual durability. You're going to, like I said, want that durability up as high as you can possibly get it. But a good flak suit or riot suit is always the way to go with PvP. Tech's not as sturdy. So guys, if your tech chest piece gets broken, you're very vulnerable to dying in your chest because you don't have that protection. So somebody with a glider suit and that is really good with a crossbow and grappling hooks is going to basically school you with that tech chest piece that you're wearing, unless you just take off running from them. So the next thing is going to be the actual weapons that you use. One of the nastiest things I've saw in Ark, ever since I've been playing it, is somebody getting one of those pike blueprints and making that 755 max leveled pike. That thing is dangerous when it comes to on foot PvP. Having a nice pike, having a crossbow with the grappling hooks, that's always a key in my opinion, like for you to having good stuff. Having a nice long neck. If you want to like knock somebody's armor off, have a great long neck and be able to take that long neck and put a scope on it and then shoot them with a regular bullet. That's a lot more powerful than scoping somebody with a fabby sniper. If you put a scope on this long neck and attach a bullet to it and hit somebody in the armor, it 9 times out of 10 is going to really puncture that armor. Next up on my PvP guidelines is some of the stuff from the stews and soups. Always keep that beer jar on you. Always keep the brews and stuff, the stews and brews that you like to use. Some people like to use these more than others. Some like to use less of these. Some people don't like using them at all, but I promise you they're really helpful. Always keep them medical brews and them energy brews on you for sure. And I know another thing a lot of people are starting to do, and that's why I put the cryopods in here. Pocket cryopods. If you have pocket dinos in your cryopods, such as gigas, pteranodons, whatever be the case that you want to keep in your pocket, those are another thing that people are starting to evolve to and use in their PvP kits. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today's episode, guys. I hope for some of you newer players, some of you younger players, that you could use these top 5 things to try to make your gameplay a little bit better. I try to use some 5 off the wall things that will make it better for you, not something that everybody's posting. So if you like this video, give us a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel so you can get more content like this in the future. And if you haven't already, hit that bell so you'll be the first to get that content. Hope you guys stay awesome. Hope you have a wonderful day, and we will catch you next episode.